I put you to sleep with nonsense, nonsense recipe, glazed carrot, lentil meatloaf with maple, lemon, garlic, parmesan herb, potatoes, a trinket splashed in with lemon juice over a sponge cake, Cajun spiced salmon with asparagus and mushroom. Let us gather our ingredients: the ginger, celery, onions. We will line up our spices: coriander, sage, cumin, garam masala. We have our bowls set out, our utensils ready for what we will produce here. A squash medley, the squash having been harvested from down the road in a large enclosed garden. Green bean medley, the Brussels sprouts tinged with oil on an open grill. Alfredo bake, the mushrooms and garlic commingling. Our golden broth simmers. It is flavored with peppercorns, salt, onion, celery, and ginger give it unique notes. This, the tincture of ages for cold and for comfort. Let us dice the tomatoes into 1-inch cubes. We do the same with onions and potatoes. Their size is uniform. An orderly arrangement grows on our cutting board. This we place into a hot iron skillet where oil sizzles, waiting to mingle flavors, bringing out unique notes from each: the celery, bell peppers of red, yellow, and orange, the harmony of the dish blended together in warmth and care. We set the temperature high, for we know the deposit of all of these ingredients will drop the temperature quickly. But we have thought of this, and the oil will keep its heat. It will sizzle as we deposit onion, garlic. We will add peppercorns here, the flavors being released slowly, adding a subtle, grounding flavor. We install a crisper plate. A shallow bowl waits for us, and here we mix sugar, cinnamon, and a pinch of nutmeg. We use a 1-inch round biscuit color. The cutter has holes in the center, and each biscuit will be pierced. The donuts are being cooked at 360 degrees Fahrenheit. It has a mild oil for cooking. the flavor of the donut will shine out from the mild oil in which it is cooked. 1 cup of granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. We will refrigerate our biscuits for 1 hour. This will make them come out flaky and light. 1/4 cup of unsalted butter melted is 1/2 of a stick. When cooking is complete, we remove the donuts from the basket. We dip them into our cinnamon and cinnamon sugar mix. We repeat this until all of the donuts have been carefully dusted with sweetness. We dip both sides and put them aside. Some we reserve for another treatment. We sprinkle icing sugar on these, tapped through a sifter. It snows upon them, a sweet, delicate snow. Sweet potato hash. 2 pounds of sweet potatoes, peeled, diced into 1/2 inch cubes. We mince garlic, 1/4 cup. 1 small onion, peeled and diced likewise. 2 teaspoons of salt will give depth and vibrancy to this dish. 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper, brought from far away and now sitting in a small jar on the countertop. 1/2 cup of water. Fresh parsley from the garden. This we have grown over a short season. We have had a lot of rain, so it has not required much tending. The parsley is a deep, vibrant green, tender and new. Your favorite hot sauce may be used as a further development of the flavors. Chilies bring out alternate notes upon the tongue. In a medium bowl, we toss the sweet potatoes, orange and vibrant, with the oil. Garlic, onion, pepper, and salt are added to this. They speckle the cubes with black sparks of flavor. The cooking takes a long time, for potatoes may not be rushed, but we are not in a hurry. Likewise, we appreciate a leisurely pace. The way the ingredients look and smell and feel as we prepare them. Flavor is king here. Flavor takes time. We will whisk egg whites vigorously until they are stiff and stiff peaks form on the tops. They look like snowy mountains at a distance. We have added 1/4 of a cup of sugar. We have used icing sugar so that granules do not detract from the smooth, foamy softness here. Let us fold this foam, egg, white sweetness into the batter. We will use a spatula. Gently and without hurry, we fold it into the batter. The batter becoming lighter and growing as we fold and blend, fold and blend. The peaks are now a little lower, but the batter is ripe with potential. We will put it into an oven of 350 degrees Fahrenheit, where the ingredients will coalesce, the batter will work its magic, and the whole will rise gently. It will rise and it will gradually set. The tips of the batter, where it has been allowed to fling up, will be lightly toasted a golden brown. That is how we know it is finished, golden brown around the edges and on the peaks of the batter. Underneath this layer, we have already put stewed plums. Plums collected last fall from the park down the road. The plums so tiny, yet so flavorful that it was well worth the added effort of gathering, washing, and pitting them. The flavors of the plums have been accentuated with a dash of salt, a tablespoon of lemon juice, and just a modest amount of sugar for flavoring. We won't tell anybody, but we have also added something the recipe did not call for. We have added the tiniest pinch of nutmeg. Nutmeg, which we grated ourselves on a tiny grater found down the road at the second-hand shop. Found and delightedly brought home for this very purpose. The nutmeg will act as a secret spy in this recipe, not enough to call attention to itself, perhaps not even enough to be noticed by anybody who has not known it is there. The tiniest pinch of nutmeg serves to confound the tongue very subtly and in a most delightful, unexpected way. It has slight citrus notes which will accompany the plums and bring them to the forefront. Coriander also has been added. Coriander, often used in savory dishes, can also be used in sweets. It has a complex flavor that works on the back of the tongue. It ignites the bitter receptors. It is mild, however, mild and serene. The bitterness is not consciously experienced. It only lights up those taste buds just a little bit, just enough for the tongue to understand that some complex dance is occurring. In a small bowl on the counter, we have gathered oregano, basil, and mint leaves. The oregano is fresh. The basil is dried from last year. And the mint is fresh also. We have taken the most tender leaves from the center of the mint plant. These have a very cooling effect, so we will only use 3 leaves. They will be gently sliced. Then we place them into our pestle and mortar. We grind them up for just a moment to release the deeper flavors. We create a paste with mint leaves and raw pistachios and a touch of oil. The resulting paste will be placed on the top of our pizza being a unique blend of flavors. We have grated beetroot, deep purple magenta. This we have put over a crust, kneaded out, and let sit rise for long hours in the warmth of the kitchen. The crust will be crisp on the edges and very well centered with fresh tomato sauce, fresh pesto, onion. We will put spinach as well, and our cheese of toy, and this time we use feta. The mint paste is now ready. We drizzle it on the top. It creates a spiral pattern over the whole. It invites us to experience it. We then drizzle cold pressed olive oil onto the whole, and we place this into the oven on a stone platter. We cook this at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for just a short while, long enough to let the crust come fully into itself and the maturity of the flavors on the toppings. The commingling of flavors brought out with oil and salt. Potato hash for a Sunday brunch. Perhaps we will bring out the donuts afterwards. Curly fries being made with a special tool, a gift. We use this and we coil the potato into unexpected springs. We customize these as we wish, various seasonings being placed into separate bowls so that we may have a Cajun-inspired curly fry. We have an Indian-inspired curly fry with our deep curries, our cumin, turmeric, and garam masala. We have yet another bowl of Montreal steak spice. This was too coarse for curly fries, so we have also used the pestle and mortar and ground it into a fine, fine spice mix. Having seasoned our curly fries, we set them aside. They will go into the air fryer, where air is pushed between the curves of the curls. We only mix these 3 times throughout the cooking, and the air being pushed through consistently does the rest. To elevate our curly fries with crisp lightness, they will crunch and they will expose a tender center of potato, fluffy on the inside and satisfyingly crispy on the outside. While this cooks, we prepare a raspberry lemon glaze. This will be on the top of our lemon pound cake, brought from a neighbor, yet unfinished. We feel the raspberry lemon glaze will be the perfect way to finish off the top of the pound cake with a moist sweetness, a syrup of citrus and light. 1 tablespoon fresh lemon juice is about half a lemon. We will use 1 tablespoon of our milk of choice, whatever that may be. 1/4 cup of seedless raspberry jelly. We have taken out the seeds by warming up the jelly very gently and slowly in a saucepan. We strain it through cheesecloth. We have folded the cheesecloth over 3 times to create a very fine mesh that will keep the seeds from being expelled. We press the raspberry jelly gently and patiently through the cheesecloth, and it works. Tiny raspberry seeds are left behind. These we take out of the cloth, put into a shallow dish, and throw out the window onto the green lawn, where the birds and the mice may nibble on them and get whatever nutrition remains thereon. 1 cup of confectioner's sugar, plus more as needed, and to taste. We will also garnish the top with dried raspberries. This is mostly for decoration. However, they will also provide a satisfying crunch to the odd bite. We have dried these raspberries outside in the sun on the hottest day of summer. We dried these bone dry through an old method, using only the sun and a cotton cloth over top, so that the greedy birds may not come and snatch them away. The glaze is now ready for the saucepan. We put all of our ingredients there one by one, taking care not to let anything splash onto the stove top, for it is a deep red. We warm this very gently at a low temperature, and we stir consistently to avoid scorching. The high sugar content is prone to scorching, and we have known this for long, long years, as our first attempt resulted in a terrible scorch which ruined it, but it was a valuable lesson, and so now we have taken a moderate approach of a low heat and consistent stirring. The glaze gradually thickens. It begins to bubble and peel away from the edges due to the sugar content. If we wanted, we could now add cocoa powder, just a tablespoon, in order to turn raspberry lemon glaze into chocolate raspberry lemon glaze. However, for now we will just keep the cocoa for another day. We want the crisp, clear, cutting flavors of raspberry and lemon to shine in this recipe. We may also glaze walnuts with the remaining glaze after we have poured what we want over the pound cake. If we have 2 or 3 tablespoons left over, we may glaze our walnuts. We do. So we take our walnuts off the shelf, open up the jar. The raw walnuts are ready for innumerable dishes. Today we would like to roast them. We put them into a low-set oven on a shallow pan, 1 layer deep. These we roast for 5 minutes on one side, then we toss them and roast for 5 minutes longer. The aroma released by the warm walnuts envelops the kitchen with a sweet, autumnal, nutty scent. We know this means that the roasting is finished. The oils inherent in the walnuts are active and alive. We remove the walnuts from the oven and set them on a cooling rack where they will cool for 10 minutes. We bring out a medium mixing bowl now, and the walnuts have cooled enough that they may be coated with our glaze. The walnuts clatter into the bowl with a satisfying sound. The aroma is doubled with their arrival into the bowl. The bowl magnifies the aromas, and we know that this is where we are meant to be. Slowly we pour the thickened glaze over the walnuts. We are in no rush, nor is the glaze. It is a thick, viscous consistency. The glaze having been scraped out thoroughly with a spatula, we mix it into the walnuts with a folding motion until every surface and every crevice is coated evenly. Now we put it back onto our shallow dish, first putting one sheet of parchment paper underneath to avoid sticking to the pan, for this is a high sugar content syrup, and it is prone to stick on any pan. We press down this layer of coated walnuts, one layer thick again, and place it back in our heated oven. This is heated at 300 degrees Fahrenheit, a gentle temperature for glazing. We let this sit in the oven, keeping a close eye on it for a total of 20 minutes. We peek upon it frequently to see how it is doing, to turn it over from time to time, and ensure that it is not burning or scorching. We now put out our curly fries, our donuts, our lentil loaf, our squash soup. We bring these out onto the table and set them together in a chorus of color, vibrancy, aromatic flavors brought on the wind. We see what we have made and we are satisfied. We know we will eat well today. We will feed those we care about with nourishing food brought forth from garden, oven, skillet, and much care. There we will know that everything, all the flavors of ages